Hi, you guys. Welcome back to YouTube. My name is Kristen Forgione. I'm the founder, creative director, and principal designer here at The Lifestyle Co. And I'm hanging out with you, just you and me today, in my kitchen with a video that has been much requested. We handle new builds, renovations, and full service interiors nationwide. We're based in Arizona, and the market is changing. Rates are changing. I'm sure you're hearing all this narrative around. And with the market changing, we are expecting a huge influx in renovation, specifically as we handle renovation design. So it has been a long time coming. You guys have been asking us for years for renovation, more on renovation tips, renovation videos. So we have started covering our renovation projects a lot earlier in the process. So we have a couple that are in progress right now that you'll see with some construction updates, and then when they are completed. Our projects tend to be pretty big renovations, so they take a very long time. So I can't tell you how soon they will hit YouTube, but we are working on it. So one of the most important things about a renovation is just really setting yourself up for success. And after over 10 years and more renovations that I can count that I have lived through, I have some really good tips that I think are maybe a little bit different than what you would normally hear on YouTube or on Instagram and what you read in the blogs. Just because I'm coming from, of course, a designer's perspective. As a principal designer at a full service interior design firm, we've learned a lot along the way. So I would say these tips are probably more tailored for people working with a professional design team versus DIY, but the more you can take from the pros, if you are doing it on your own, the better off you'll be. So before we get into renovation tips, I have to thank Caraway. They are the sponsor of this video, and they've been a longtime partner of mine. I have been using Caraway kitchen cookware for over 7 months now, and I can tell you I am an at-home cook. I love to cook for my family. I love to try new recipes, and I was pretty much exclusively a cast iron skillet girl until Caraway came into my life. I truly don't use my cast iron skillet as much, almost at all, since having these, simply because with iron, there can of course be some sort of chemical transfer onto your food. Caraway's pots and pans are ceramic coated. They are also non-stick, which means they're completely non-toxic. So you're not gonna get any of that chemical transfer that you could get if you were using cast iron cookware. I think it is so durable. Like I said, I've been cooking on it for 7 months, 6 or 7 months now. So I feel very qualified in saying the reasons why I love them so much. I love that they feel so durable. I love how solid they are and how consistent they are. So now that I've learned how I like to prepare my food with them, I'm seeing like flawless results every time. The aesthetic, I'm in the business of aesthetics, as you know, and you may have seen another Caraway video of mine when I had only been cooking on them for like 2 months. And everything I said then is still true, if not more true, now that I know my cookware so much better. As I mentioned, I'm in the business of aesthetics, and I just really love the like subtle curvature of the bottom of the pan or the pot, the top, the way the lid fits on absolutely perfectly. I love the color options. I have a cream set and I also have a gray set. I have them up at my cabin. I truly can't get enough of these. Caraway has given me a code for you guys. It's Lifestyle Code 10, and this is a really good time and an opportunity to save with them that isn't available all the time. So we'll put the code on the screen. We'll also put the link in the description. Lifestyle Code 10 for 10% off site-wide. I've also just gotten their food storage system, and I love that. I think another thing to know about just the design of Caraway is they are so intentional with everything from the packaging to the way that the pots and pans are stored. So with the set comes these dividers where it just is stored beautifully, and then there's this gorgeous canvas bag, like hanging bag that you can put the tops in. So overall, I just think it's such a beautiful, beautiful system, if you will, and extension of the rest of your kitchen tools. Not only is it aesthetic, it's non-toxic, it's designed with storage and your livability in mind. Ceramic coated. I truly just love them. So Caraway, thank you so much for sponsoring this video and for continuing to keep me at the tip top of my home cook chef game. I don't see myself ever using another set of pots. Okay, scene change. It felt a little formal over there. I don't know. I was behind the island and talking about my amazing Caraway pots and pans, but I wanted to be able to sit down with you and just have it a little bit more casual since we're speaking about renovation tips. And these are truly just like off the cuff, things that I really think help make or break a successful renovation. So the first one is hiring a team, right? When you're looking for a professional team and people to work on your behalf or on behalf of the project, you definitely need to consider that early. Involve us as soon as humanly possible. We want to be involved as designers as soon as you're going into architecture or plans, as soon as you're talking to your contractor, or maybe the design team is who is kind of helping orchestrate the contractor that's brought in and also the architect. We like to give our clients a couple of options. So we have longstanding relationships with a couple different general contractors that we prefer to work with, and the same is true in architecture. So we'll put everyone together and we will start planning together as early as possible. Here in Arizona or in the markets that we work in, we're seeing about 5 to 10% in professional fees being allocated to. So consider that early in your budget. Then once you hire us, listen to us. That one is one that will help you so much if you can allow us to do our jobs as early as possible. There's a reason you hired us. We know renovation, we know what we're doing, and we want to make sure that we can perform to the highest of our abilities for you and your renovation. So hire a team, make sure you're hiring them and bringing them in early, be prepared for the cost, and listen to us. Second tip, something that I see happen all the time, and it's accidental, I know it is, but do not assess your own timeline to your renovation. Renovation timelines are based on labor and materials, period, end of story. They are not based on someone's birthday or Christmas or Hanukkah or any holiday, okay? I know it's hard because people go into, right, the first conversation that you're having with your significant other, you're talking about renovation, you're talking about like, oh gosh, it's February. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could have this beautiful holiday party in our newly renovated house? It instantly sets the project up for challenges, simply because while it seems like it could be probable, there are just so many factors, especially early on, that we have no idea what the timing or the impact is going to be. So while I also understand the thought process of like, I don't just want an open-ended timeline, this renovation will never end, there is a really balanced way based on labor and materials, right? How long the appliances take, how long the cabinets take to be produced and manufactured, how long countertops take to be templated and fabricated and installed. There are just some major kind of benchmarks that have to happen that are really what you should be using to determine a timeline, not, as I said, holidays or birthdays. It's just gonna set people up for disappointment, yourself, everyone included, everyone invited to the party. It's gonna create so much stress, and with a renovation, there will already be stress. Okay, so tip number 3, the big ugly B word, as we call it here at The Lifestyle Co. It's budget. Budget is never a word or a thing that anyone really wants to talk about, but it needs to be talked about early, often, consistently, on an ongoing basis. With your budget, when you establish your budget, same kind of thing. You can't just really say, I have X amount of dollars, here's everything I want to get out of that X amount of dollars. You should say, I have X amount of dollars, tell me what you think is realistic and show me, based on current cost analysis on projects from your general contractors, what they think you can get out of this. The difference in what you're going to get out of said general contractor, which is where your pricing should be coming from, is night and day. It's just, it basically sets everyone up to be able to have open-ended conversations instead of those closed-ended negative conversations where we have to be the ones to tell you that it's not possible. So I would really make it a point to establish your budget early and be as open and communicative as possible with it, and then also establish a reach budget. So we'll get in a conversation with clients and they'll say, I have X amount of dollars, that's all I have. And then as we get a little further on in the process, there are more funds that come available. Try to figure that out earlier, because obviously, let's say we had 100,000 and then after 2 months of working together, there's new funds that have come available and now we have 200,000. the way we may have spent that initial 200 might be very different than the way we are spending the only 100, if that makes sense. Okay, next tip. There are no secrets in renovation. Repeat after me. There's no secrets in new builds either. There should be no secrets in design, in construction, any of that. There shouldn't be secrets between your design team and the contractor. There shouldn't be secrets between the contractor and you. There shouldn't be secrets between you or your spouse and a member of the design team. Everyone needs to be talking about everything collectively. And it doesn't mean that every single person has to be at every conversation. It just means that the transfer of information should be fluid and it should be easy, and there shouldn't be any secrets. Unfortunately, there have been times where we've been placed kind of in the middle of conversations that have been going on where all parties aren't involved, and it creates a challenge in terms of problem solving. It can feel yucky for obviously anyone involved, because you're thinking to yourself, why didn't they tell us that? And what else is happening that we're not privy to? And obviously makes the problem solving and decision making a little bit more challenging. So no secrets, everyone should be involved. Everyone should know how the project is being funded. Everyone should know what the budget is. Everyone should know who's in charge and what that looks like. And that leads me to my next tip. Every team should have someone that is dedicated and in charge. So on the design team, I'm the creative director. I'm typically not the person that is operating on a daily basis with our projects and our clients and our contracting teams. So that would be a lead designer or a senior design director, or someone from our support team is all operating together to represent our design firm to contribute to the design component. The same should be true for your contractors. You should have a PM, a superintendent, something like that. Or if you're working with a smaller contracting firm, let's say you're working with the general himself or herself, that's perfectly acceptable as well. And then for you as the client, if you and your spouse, or you and whoever, your partner, your business partner, whoever you're working on this renovation with, that is also the client, the two of you should have a united front. So one person should be the contact. It is extremely challenging when we are getting mixed signals, right? We're getting one answer from one party and one answer from the other party, both speaking on behalf of the same project. It creates delays, it can create confusion, it can create errors, because one person thinks one thing's being done this way, one person thinks one thing's being done this way. Turns out no one ever came to an agreement on it. So make sure that each party that is involved in the renovation has the clear person that is communicating and that ultimately is making decisions on behalf of the project. Last but not least, and I promise I would keep this video short for you, if you like this video and you like this kind of content where I'm just kind of sitting here talking to you, dumping my brain and lots of years of experience on you, tell us in the comments. You know we answer as many comments as we can, and we read your comments so that we can help tailor content moving forward. So like I said, it'll be short and quick today. The last tip that I have for you is, once you agree on a final design, allow that final design to be executed. Yes, there will be changes. It happens all the time. It's completely normal. We will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. Your general contractor will make mistakes. Things will happen. Changes in the field. It's all completely normal. But what I mean is, we can't keep expanding the scope, right? And we also can't keep changing things. So once the design is finalized, stay the course. We also say, like, listen to the design gods. When something happens, try not to panic, try not to freak out, listen to the people that you've hired, make collective, constructive, resourceful, efficient decisions, and it's all gonna work out exactly the way it's supposed to. So let your professionals work for you. Don't get scared now. There was a reason you signed off on the final design. And I can also tell you, as someone who has renovated countless houses, offices, projects for clients, built custom for myself, there are times when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Like, do I really love this as much as I thought I loved this? Now that I'm seeing XYZ come together, I'm worried. Oh my gosh, this is costing way more than I thought. In as many instances as you can, if you can stay the course, trust the process, let the design happen, it will reward you beautifully, and the project will be gorgeous. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again to Caraway for sponsoring this video. Our code is LifestyledCo10. We will put the code on the screen, and then we'll also, of course, link it in the description. We would love to hear from you in the comments. Subscribe while you're here, and I'll catch you on the next one.